Good morning, everybody. We're here today with David Holmes, Executive Director for Sport at the FEI. Good morning, David.
Morning, Digby. Morning.
The outdoor sporting season is now well underway. Could you tell us a little about what's happening at the moment?
It's been a great start to the season this year. One of the key issues, one of the key things that needs mentioning is the Meydan FEI Nations Cup. We teamed up with Meydan at the beginning of this year and to be sponsors of the Nations Cup. We've had 3 rounds so far. The first round in Le Bol in France. We had a fantastic winner there with the Swiss team. And then we had the second round in Rome recently, where the Americans won, which was a very popular win for them and under their close tutelage, watchful eye of George Morris, as ever. And then we've just had the third round in St. Gallen. I think in particular we must make note here with the third round in St. Gallen of the retirement of Markus Fuchs, the Swiss rider. He's 5 times Olympian, and he hung up his spurs, so to speak, from competitive riding in St. Gallen.
And am I right in thinking that this year is in fact the centenary edition of the Nations Cup?
Indeed, it's great for us to be able to celebrate this. As you say, 100 years of the Nations Cup. Big celebration planned for Aachen. Frank Kemperman, who is the organiser there, is going to be working closely with us to make sure that is as good as it possibly can be. And I think also it is important to mention the fact that we're so pleased to have Meydan on board for this 100th year of the Nations Cup as well.
How about the other FEI series currently underway?
Well, the other key event that we have is we've got the HSBC series. So we've got the HSBC FEI Classic series, and we're just about to have the third of those in Lumülen coming up shortly in Germany. And we've also had 5 qualifiers in the HSBC FEI World Cup. Both competitions going extremely well. This is our first complete year of working closely with HSBC, and we feel it's going extremely well. They're getting really good exposure, and we've got a really good relationship working with them.
Something that you're closely concerned with as the sports director is the dressage task force. Can you bring us up to date with what's happening there?
We're incredibly lucky. We've got a fantastic task force with a great team of people on it. We've been working with them since November last year, and they were given 5 tasks by the FEI Bureau, which cover the whole area of the Olympic Games, judging within dressage, and selection and promotion and training of judges. And we've had some brilliant ideas coming out of the task force. At the moment, the current work in progress is that we're looking at having a trial to look at some of the judging processes and systems that are currently operating within dressage, and looking at some ways that we might be able to improve those for the future. The other big piece of work that the task force have been working on recently is putting in place a new dressage committee, or the structure for a new dressage committee, which will come into place at the General Assembly in Copenhagen in November.
While we're on the subject of dressage, a new director of dressage has been appointed at HQ. Could you tell us something about that?
Yes, indeed. I personally am very relieved that he's coming along. We've had a bit of a gap. Eva Salomon, who had been dressage director for 6 years, finished at the FEI back in March, and Trond Asmir will be starting on the 22nd of June. Trond is from Norway. I think he is a brilliant choice for the post. He combines a fantastic knowledge of the sport of dressage. He is an international dressage judge, although in coming into this role he will have to stand down from that because of potential conflicts of interest. But so he's got a phenomenal amount of knowledge and experience in the sport. He's very well known and very well respected in the sport. I think the other key thing for me about Trond is that in terms of his background, he has got a strong commercial background from his business life, but also he's been working for many years now in the Norwegian Federation as a volunteer. And the reason I think this is so important is because the FEI is basically a service organisation, and the organisations, our members who we work with mostly are the national federations. So the more that we have people like Trond coming into the FEI who've worked in national federations and really have a great understanding of the needs and demands of the national federations, it can only be a good thing for the sport going forwards.
And finally, David, what else is happening at the headquarters at the moment?
I think the other key things I should mention is we have had a restructuring of how we deal with the subject of development within the FEI. Up until recently, we had a development department which specifically looked after all development issues. But now the issue of development is becoming so broad, we've actually broken down the development department, and we're looking at trying to integrate development much more into all of the work of the FEI. So in particular in the sports department, the discipline directors now are taking much more ownership of development and how it affects them in their different areas. Also, I think the other key change is that Jacqueline Bresson, who has been really a leading light in the FEI headquarters now for many years relating to the area of development. She is now going to really very much more focus on the area of coaching. Coaching is absolutely essential for all of the national federations, having good coaches, because if you have good coaches, you have good riders, you have good sports structures. And she now is really going to start focusing on that area. The FEI has got its own coaching strategy, and she's now able to focus on the third and fourth levels of that strategy, which I think will make a big difference to national federations, particularly the developing national federations in the future.
David Holmes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, and I think, Digby, we should say a big thank you to Dominique and Pascal, who have hosted us wonderfully today here at this fantastic facility of theirs.